So today's video is all about Kilimanjaro, which is a very special mountain of mine. I climbed it 10 years before I started working for KE on a KE trip and absolutely loved it. And Chloe, you've just come back from doing the, which route did you do again?
I did the northern route.
You did the northern,
so the longest of the ones that KE does.
Yeah. So you've just come back from it. We did a video section before, but we want to kind of get you down to chat about how you got on, anything you learned from it, and how it was basically. So, how difficult was it?
I guess it depends on which bit of that mountain we're talking about. Most of it is great. It's not easy, but it's very manageable. You're, talking about kind of walking in the lakes here. You're talking about 5 or 6 hours walking a day, good bit of downtime. It's not technical, so that's great. There's nothing in that realm. So what you're really talking about is then you're getting into the summit day, which you could be looking at, as you know, about 13 hours, which is full on. And I think that if you of course you've got to be a really good fitness level, physical fitness, but also, of course, when it comes into this, you're talking about your mental fitness and that fact that it is going to be tough, but you can keep going. And then after a few hours, you're at the top of Africa. And it's amazing.
And that's, I think, because you set off, it's dark. I got frostbite in my toes. Frost nip, sorry.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
difference, frost nip, because it's so cold up there. With my water bottle, I had one of the camel packs. Yeah, and it froze. Luckily, I had a backup one as well. But it's so cold up there. However, you get through it because you're going to the roof of Africa.
Absolutely. And I went in September, so it wasn't quite like that. Yeah. So it didn't freeze. I had just some thin gloves on and it was okay.
Oh,
so it was
nice.
It's a very different experience. It was still cold, but it wasn't quite that level. So you do get those differences throughout the year as well.
I think one of the big things is this is we're camping. There's the routes that we do. We don't really do fixed accommodation. You haven't got huts magically at the top of Kilimanjaro, so we're having to camp, and the walking is about 5 to 6 hours a day. Yeah. So we've got lots of downtime. So what's camp life like? What do you get up to?
Yep. So plenty of downtime depending on the day. Sometimes you'll be getting in to the next camp probably early afternoon. So it might be that you're having your lunch when you arrive. Tents are already set up for you. When you get there, amazing lunches of big pastas and chips. Just incredible.
I was going to say, what's the food like? Yeah. What was your food like?
Yeah, the food is absolutely amazing and really, really filling, and lots of it. Like they really, of course, on these trips, they want you to be able to still keep eating. Keep your energy up. We had fish and chips one night.
That's a surreal place to have fish and chips.
Exactly. But so you've got the amazing food, and then with the downtime as well, you've got a good bit in the afternoon when you also you can have some hot water to have a wash, and then take a book, that kind of thing, have a rest. And then you've also got, in terms of the camp setup, you've got your tents. You've got a mess tent where you'll go and have go and eat your meals, and also a toilet tent. On our trips, we take our own toilet with us. We have a portaloo and a toilet tent, which is only for that KE group.
Yeah. I think that's the difference because when I went, we had a drop toilet and they were absolutely awful. They were really bad, and but also it's all up there. You can't bring it down, so it's great that we can.
Exactly, we take that, and we also. It's very important to note that we also bring all rubbish away with us as well. Kind of going along those lines. A lot of the camps are set up that way so that it's monitored, the rubbish. So everything that we take up there, we bring all of that off the mountain as well.
Right. So there are different routes up Kili. You did the northern route, I did the Rongo route. Which route's best, do you think? Or which route do you recommend, or what's the difference between them?
Okay, so we stand alone doing Kilimanjaro on its own. We do 3 separate routes: the northern route, Lemosho, and the Rongai. I think if you've got the time, I know that it's the one that I did, but if you've got the time, it would be great to look at the northern route because you're longer on the mountain, so you're a couple of days extra actually acclimatizing on the mountain, but you also, because you come up from one side of the mountain and then you go round, you get to see all of the views from everywhere as well. So it's, and those views when you get round the kind of the northern side, the views out to Kenya are absolutely stunning. So we have those three as standalone. We also then do Kilimanjaro as a combination with Mount Meru and with Mount Kenya. So again, if you've got that little bit extra time, I would really suggest looking at one of those. I know one of our colleagues has done Mount Kenya as well, and he says it's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. So, and on those, when you get to Kilimanjaro, you do the Machame route, because that's a bit shorter, because you've already got the acclimatization from the other mountains.
That's the key thing. It's altitude is a big point for people, but to get over the altitude, you spend more time on the mountains, better, slowly kind of acclimatization. That's why the northern route's so good. And the Rongai route, is our shortest route, but it's still, a good length of time on the mountain. We do have rest days. Do we do a rest day?
We don't have a rest day, but what we do is the kind of the standard Rongai route, we actually have an additional day in there.
That's right.
So that, just to give you all the better chance of getting to the top.
If you've flown all the way over there, you may as well try and make it. Okay, highlights. I know it's a difficult one, but what are some of your highlights?
Okay, so the literal highlight, getting to the top of Africa. I mean, I think as you come up, depending on the timing coming up, as we were getting to the top, the sun was rising, so we had the sunrise over Africa. I mean, I don't think it's the kind of thing you ever really forget. But as well as that, that's a moment of your trip. And the rest of the time you're with, of course, the people that you've booked with, but you're also with the crew, with the leaders. Absolutely incredible. Like, not only do they work for KE a lot, we know them really well, but it's so great to have that interaction. They're amazing. They do their jobs incredibly, but also it's just really great to chat to those guys and also be in that environment with them. And then you're also getting, another highlight is getting those views out from the mountain. I would add another additional, a small additional one in here, is that I went over and did a safari after my trip.
Yeah.
So one of my also highlights was seeing a family of elephants walking across in front of us, which I think will stay in my heart for quite a long time.
Oh, I did the same thing. I did a safari extension because you're flying all the way over there, and it's there. You may as well do the safari, and it is amazing seeing. You see so much. When I first did the safari, we turned up in the car, and we were going, oh yeah, we can see some antelope, and then I was like, is that it? And then suddenly everything, zebras, lions, cheetahs, giraffes. I love the giraffes.
Yeah, and I think in addition to that, not only have you got this incredible wildlife that at some points is quite close, you've also got this, you're seeing more of the country. Yeah. Because you arrive, you do Kilimanjaro, you come down, and then maybe you fly home. But if you stay for an extra few days and do something like a safari, you're then travelling. So you're travelling for a few hours to get to the first park, at which point I think that's amazing as well, because it's all part of the journey, because you're seeing the surroundings and you're seeing more of the country as well.
I think there's a big difference as well with the trip that we do, is that when you do the extension, you are actually staying in the parks. You're not based in the city, going out to the national parks, and so you really immerse in it. I remember sitting having a drink, watching sunset over this canyon in Africa. I was like, this is just amazing. Excellent.
Absolutely, and of course, if you want to as well, you can go and relax in Zanzibar.
That's right, Zanzibar.
Go and have a cocktail on a beach instead.
After climbing a mountain, having a hard time on safari, you need to relax on the beach. Ultimately, I do know a lot of people actually do all of it as well, so that's really key.
That's true. Yeah. Do all three.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Chloe, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You came back with some amazing videos, which people can see on the and pictures as well, which people can see on the website. So thank you very much for that. And next adventure to come.